Welcome to this ease down towards bedtime video. Starting from standing, we're going to shake the body, shaking the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the arms, into the shoulders, the neck, all the way down the back, into the hips, the upper legs, the knees, down into the ankles and the feet, moving, shaking off all of the day's frustrations and irritations as we work towards bedtime. And switching now, allowing the feet to part slightly and twisting off. The important thing here is to allow one heel to lift, and that should feel fairly natural. And this is to avoid straining through the knees and twisting them. Allowing the arms to swing up a little bit higher so we get into the shoulders and the upper back, and then let everything slow down until we're able to now rock the arms backwards and forwards, and rather like pendulums swinging by your sides, the weight of the arms drawing you towards a forward fold, drawing you out of a forward fold, just using the momentum of the arms, working with the breath. And as you come down now, hanging around there, relaxing from the shoulders before rolling your way up if that's appropriate for your back. Coming up to standing tall. Have a little roll through those shoulders. And then from here, let's work our way down through a forward fold. Softly does it, walking the hands forwards then on the mat into a downward facing dog. And when we arrive here, let's walk our dog by bending one knee, ease the other heel towards the ground, feeling a little bit of stretch in the backs of the legs. Then let's make this into a three-legged dog by lifting the right leg up high. Bring the heel over the bottom so the knee points up. Come out of that side, taking the left leg in the same way, up and over, stretching it back as that left foot comes to the ground. Walk into forward fold before again uncurling. Little roll of those shoulders. And then let's step to the wide edge of the mat, taking the feet nice and wide apart and bringing the hands to the crease at the top of the thigh, hinging forward, keeping the knees a little bit soft, back long, supported by your core muscles. Drop the hands towards the ground, head towards the ground, easing the feet into a comfortable position. And then walking the hands over towards the left foot. As you do so, take the left hand onto the low back and then releasing back to centre, switching to the other side. And as you walk the hands from side to side, taking one hand onto the low back, creating a little bit of twist and easing back to the other side and allowing this twist to develop as it's comfortable for your back. And remember the shoulders, we're not pushing too deeply into the shoulders, just feeling the movement before coming back to centre, softening the knees, hands back to the hips, hinging up and stepping those feet back together. From here, let's move on to all fours into a tabletop position to take just a few cat-cow poses. So it's really nice to work with the breath when we take these, and using an exhalation, tucking tail under, arching the back, bringing chin towards chest. And then as we work into the in-breath, we're releasing the tail back, softening tummy, lifting chest, lifting gaze. And we're not forcing in either direction, particularly on the in-breath when we release the tail back and lift the gaze. We're not overdoing the dip, particularly in the lumbar and the neck. From there, Soften back into child's pose as the bottom moves back towards the heels. Allow the arms to be extended if the shoulders are willing. Armpits releasing towards the ground. Just noticing the breath as it moves in the body as you're here. And then making your way out of child's pose. We're going to come down onto the mat. And we're going to lie on the right side with the knees bent. The knees are holding you stable now. Arms outstretched in front, head ideally on the ground, but if it needs a bit of support, then take that. But with the arms extended out in front of you, left hand on top of right, wait for an in-breath and use that inhale, sliding the left hand up the inside of the right arm across the collarbones, then unfolding that left arm to the ground behind you. Breathing out, left hand back to the shoulder and slide all the way back down onto the right hand. And we're going in and out, allowing the head to roll so that the nose follows the movement of the arm. And we're looking to spread the upper back out across the floor as the arms and the shoulders release to the ground. And after we've done a few dynamically, we'll stay, if you can, relaxed on the ground with the arms outstretched, nose pointing along that left arm. Letting go of the body into the support of the ground before then making your way back, one hand on top of the other, and then gently coming onto the left hand side of the body. So this time we're working with the right arm, knees bent, remember to hold you nice and stable, head on the ground ideally, but using support if you need. And now we've got that right arm, right hand sliding along the left arm, unfolding out and behind you, nose following the direction of that unfolding right arm. Looking to spread the upper back across the ground. And see if you can take roughly the same number of these on each side, and not forgetting those few breaths in that held twisty posture, supported by the ground. When it's time to come out of this, slide your hand all the way back across, so right hand is on top of left, and then we'll make our way up to sitting and coming into a pose we call Dandasana, the staff pose, having the legs extended out in front of you, spine nice and tall. If it's tricky to sit like this, sometimes sitting on a block or a cushion will help. Lift the hips a little bit. Hands by the hips, just following the breath. After those twists, this brings us back into a little bit of symmetry. And then coming out of this, let's simply soften the knees now, feet on the ground, and drape the upper half of the body over those bent thighs, lowering the nose towards the knees, easing your way up again, and that's softening into this gentle supported forward fold and coming out again. And as we've softened in and come out a few times, then we can think about staying in this pose. And if all is comfortable, each time you breathe out, let's allow the heels to move millimeters or maybe a centimetre further away from the hips. See if you can keep your tummy and your chest in contact with your thighs as you gradually, with an out breath at a time, move those heels further away, legs straightening out as much as feels comfortable. Comfortable not only for the backs of the legs, but more importantly, your back. And as you stay there, be aware of your breath. When it's time to come out, use the hands to support you as you walk them back towards the hips. And from Dandasana, we'll change again, this time coming into a seated position that we can use for several rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So here, find yourself a comfortable seated position where you feel steady in your foundation, left hand relaxed in the lap or on the legs, and using your right hand now, tuck in the index and middle finger. And once the breath is steady, block off your right nostril with your right thumb. Inhale through the left nostril. Release the right nostril, block off the left nostril while you breathe out through the right. Then breathe in through the right nostril, release the left, block off the right nostril and breathe out through the left. And that's one round. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Inhaling right, exhaling left. And as you go forward, if you get lost, you breathe in through the nostril you've just breathed out of, and all will be well. The breath should remain relaxed and easy. We're simply narrowing the amount of space you have to breathe through, which will in turn slow the breath down slightly. Eyes closed if you're comfortable. Shoulders relaxed. It's nice to take approximately 12 rounds of this practice, this alternate nostril breathing practice. Creating a balanced, steady breath, relaxed mind. As you complete this, relax the hands to the legs or the lap for a moment. Notice how you feel. And when you are ready to release from this posture, you might like to come to lie on your back. You might like to take a legs in the air or legs up the wall pose. If taking legs up the wall pose, find yourself a suitable blank part of a wall. See if you can sidle in sideways onto the wall, and then as you come to the ground, release the legs up the wall so that the heels feel supported, back feels supported. Check that you're comfortable. Relax the arms by the sides or out a little wider. Mind on the breath. If arms wide apart, don't suit, you might like to bring your hands on the tummy where you can be aware of that gentle lifting and lowering caused by the breath. Staying here for as long as feels comfortable. Namaste.